All right. All right. Let's see if I can get this to work. Oh, well, hello. Welcome to another end of the month hangout. Was every stream I watch always late? Listen, I'm 4 minutes late. It's okay. You're okay. Hi, my name is Mia Mulder. I'm a YouTuber. You know this, because otherwise you wouldn't be here. If you're new to what I do, the way this works is that this is a stream. It's an end of the month stream where I hang out at the end of the month every month, and just hang out for a little bit. I try to talk about the month that has been and the month that is coming up. So we're gonna try to do that. But other than that, there's no science. And I'll have you know, the stream actually started on time. It just didn't feature my face in good enough time. Five minutes, maybe your time zone. But yes, hello. It is the end of February. I can't pronounce words to save my life. I am in the very, very finishing stages of finishing my next video, which is about free speech on the internet and PragerU. It's a bit of a just a slow and mellow one. It's not less intense than some of my more recent videos, and I think that you're gonna like it. At least I hope so. I like it so far. I aimed to make it half an hour long, so of course it's almost an hour. I wanted to make a really short video. Like, I made a short script and it just ended up being very long. I don't like it. But it's ending up very well. That video is gonna come out hopefully tonight for early access patrons. That's patrons for over $20 or up. Or it's going to be out publicly tomorrow evening, and I'll set up a premiere when that is applicable, which is probably going to be tomorrow afternoon my time. Yeah, I'm very, very close to finishing the editing on it. I still have a little bit to do, so I'm gonna make an early access version that's going to be available tonight. And then I might do some like fine-tune editing just before release, because I still want to do more stuff. Yeah, it's a good little like reflection on what like free speech in the age of internet, and how PragerU sort of typifies a lot of the issues with that. I hope you're gonna like it. I keep saying that. Let's just dive into it. The month that has been. If you are anything like me and keep up with analytics for some reason or another, one, I hope therapy is going well, and two, you probably noticed that my channel has been growing really quickly the last month. My last two videos have done very well. My most recent one is like getting up to becoming my most popular one ever. I think it's the only one that's. Let me just check my analytics on my phone a little bit. Yeah, it is currently my second most popular video after less than a month of release. And it's less than 10,000 away from my second most popular video, which is Transsexuals and Suffering, which has also been doing fairly well in the algorithm recently. So I don't know what's up. A month ago I had what, like 35,000. A little more than a month ago I had like 35,000 subscribers. I'm nearing 50. I am I'm getting there. I'm very close. Don't know. No. You don't have to keep up with my analytics. That's why I have these streams. You don't have to, obviously, but I've noticed it because it takes up a large part of my mind, unfortunately. But everything's been going super well. Yeah, my last video was received very well, and I'm like a little anxious now because now suddenly it's like, oh, that set the bar pretty high. I'm hoping that like future videos will live up to that, but I hope they do. Beyond that, though, I don't really have that much else to say, really. I haven't streamed video games as much as I would have liked on Twitch. It's been a bit of a intense couple of weeks, work-wise. So I kind of been focused on what I have to do. That's also why I wanted to make a shorter video that I could sort of like relax a little bit on. Because, you know, if a video is half as long, that's half as much time that I need to edit. But then it just ended out. It just accidentally happened. That it ended up being like 45 minutes long. Let's check actually how long the runtime currently is. Currently the runtime is 43 minutes long. It's probably gonna get longer after some edits I do tonight. That's gonna be very fun. I hope that the algorithm likes that one too. I'd like to keep this like growth train going. But at the same time, you know, I'm always happy for what I have. I don't want to put the cart in front of the horse. Anything else that's been happening? Not outside of that, things have been going just like well. Things good, generally good. How about things for next month? How about that? We're gonna do that. I am going to next month. I'm going to release technically 2 videos. Technically, because the video that's going to be out tomorrow was scheduled to be out today, but due to a miscommunication with me and the sponsor of the video, it actually had to be moved kind of twice. Once it moved up to the 27th, but then I didn't have time to finish everything, so I decided to move it until the 1st. So the 1st of March, obviously, like tomorrow is going to be the next video is going to come out. And then I'm actually going to make a video. Let's see, let me check my calendar for my video plans. On the 24th of March, which is a bit before the end of the month when I usually do these things. There's a reason for that, but you won't find out what that is until the time comes. So I'm trying to keep up production as well. So I'm like making a lot of content for people to like. Beyond that, yeah, there are some projects that are in the works that I can't really tell you about right now, but depending on how they go, I'll tell you about it. But right now, we don't really know. Probably not gonna have an update on that in the month that's coming up. I think March is going to be a pretty like steady month, like very casual, very comfy. And honestly, I'm fine with that. That's gonna be great. Around which time does YouTube start sending stuff to you? Yeah, 100,000. So I'm not even halfway, but I'm happy. Although if I ever get the sort of like plaque thing that they send you, I'll be ecstatic. But you know, I'm already making a fairly okay living as it is, and I'm happy with that. Hitting off the left 2 bases, sound chill. Well, I'm hoping that. I'm hoping to make a sort of just like just a chill vibe. Daddy Dennis. God, I do have some Daddy Dennis Well, I don't have jokes about Daddy Dennis specifically, but I do have jokes about the Prager, the man himself. Which I'm very happy. Steady March sounds great. Yeah, I mean, last March was not great for anyone, considering that's when the world ended, so hopefully this March will be better. Almost 50k. Yeah, like I don't know really what happened. Cause like I got like 300 subscribers yesterday. I have no idea where they came from whatsoever. There's a part of me that YouTube just thinks that YouTube just gave me 300 subscribers because they wanted me to. It's a gift. I'm very happy about that. That's cursed. Starlight, that is extraordinarily cursed. If it wasn't so funny, I would fear for my life. But first of all, before we, I don't know, get too deep into things, because I've already sort of rounded everything off. Very short status update, and that's not very fun. How are you feeling? How is the state of the chat on this lovely day? I think what makes a lot of videos atmosphere is the color palette. Does anyone get the same idea? Yeah, I mean, I try to work more with color now in my more recent videos. You may have noticed that I got a bit of a technical upgrade from the from my more older videos, and yeah, I have a new camera basically, and I have basically been able to work in much higher quality than I've ever done before, and I'm still getting used to it. So like my video on the military, for example, I was very proud of that one in terms of like visual aesthetics. This one that I have now is like less visually interesting, but I think it's more like OG Miyamoto. It's like old tiny Miyamoto, and I hope that's fine. I like it. That's it, and that's all that matters really when you think about it. Sleepy. It's a lot of sleepy energy. I have a lot of sleepy energy here too, because I'm like, not only am I working on this video, like we're also working on the the podcast Leech Fest. That's also coming up soon, a new episode. So that's also like in the running. It's getting close here. It's like 8, 9. I would have liked to have a render started now of my next video, but that's probably not gonna happen. I'm probably gonna have to stay up pretty late just to finish my next video, which I'm not looking forward a ton to doing all of that. Back from a hike. Very comfy. What I keep forgetting what time it is in America. It's like 2 p.m. or something like that. It's like afternoon. Pogger you. God, this light. I can't. I recently got like a fairly new like lighting rig, and I can't get it to work for the life of me. To a point that I'm happy with. $11 a.m. on the West Coast. Jesus Christ. No wonder all of my like American coworkers are like working weird times. Whenever I have to do anything like time related with work in terms of like sponsorship calls and stuff like that, it is always like in the middle of the night here, just because if they call me later, then obviously it's too late. And if I call them earlier, it's way too early, so I have to call them at like 8:30 in the evening and be like, hello, I would like you to sponsor my video. It's not really how it works, but still. I found your YouTube a weekish ago through joining Twitter and seeing a mention of you. But really like the content. I like the but there, because that implies, that's not how you meant it, I know that, but like it implies that despite Twitter's recommendation, you like my content, which is fair, because Twitter usually has pretty bad recommendations, but I'm happy you like me. Finished linear algebra? Jesus, I can't do math to save my life, so congratulations for you. What do I usually talk about in these streams? I'm blanking. It's been a whole month since the last time I made an end of the month hangout, and I don't remember how it works. Are they going to ban summer this time, this summertime or not? Probably. I mean, they keep saying that like due to COVID, they are going to, like due to the vaccine, they're probably gonna try to have things open up by summer because we have midsummer celebrations and stuff, and that's probably not. I don't think that's gonna happen with all of the supply issues in Europe. I don't think that's gonna happen very soon. I think summer is gonna be cancelled. When are you gonna do the mega game? Good question. So I've been experimenting, trying to get some things to work. I did one publicly, and I've done a few like privately. I'm still gonna have to do like a test run, which I'm probably actually going to do next week, where I just stream a mega game, but not the charity event. Like I just try it just to see how it goes. And that'll be interesting. But I'm hoping to do it fairly soon. I'm considering maybe doing it like around my birthday for some sort of like birthday celebration thing. Probably not on my birthday itself, because then I'm probably going to do something fun. And this will be fun too, but I'm not going to do it like then. What do you call it? There are some mods that I have to do for the mega game to like work properly, for it to actually be like fun to watch, and also fun in the long term, right? Because if you don't know what a mega game is, I should probably have said this before. It's where you play the series of Paradox games from Crusader Kings 2 or Crusader Kings 3 to Europa Universalis to Victoria 2 to Hearts of Iron. Basically playing all throughout world history, and I'm hoping that's gonna take like literally a week of solid gameplay. So that's gonna be like some sort of nightmare thing that I've had to do. But because of how the games work, and because of like you want to keep it interesting every game. If you conquer all of Europe, for example, in Crusader Kings, then it's not going to be fun in the next game, because then you already control like a continent, and then you're just going to take over the rest of the world, and then it doesn't work. So it's not fun. So I have some mods that I have in play. I've actually started to try to learn how to make my own mods specifically for this playthrough. Things that will make like technology a bit more realistic, to make sure that countries don't, as the terminology is, blob, where they become like big, and things of that nature. And I think it could be really fun, but it is also something that I have to what do you call it? It's like a lot of prep work for it to work. I don't think anyone has ever done like a live mega game. I don't think that's ever happened. I think most mega games usually happen where people like they do clips or they record everything and then they put it up. I don't think anyone has ever done, and if they have, they probably haven't done it in one sitting. So I'm hoping to maybe break a world record, a very unique world record. I do also know a few people who work at Paradox Interactive, and I'm considering reaching out to them and being like, hey, can we do some like cross promotion thing here? Because like, you know, they have a bigger audience than I do because they make the games. But if I'm going to like potentially break a world record by doing it, then I think that maybe they would be on board. Plus, it's for charity. Converts to jank assault. Yeah, it's jank. CK3 or CK2? I'm considering CK3. I'm trying with it, but like it seems to be working. But I'm also gonna try Crusader Kings 2. Crusader Kings 2 is like more, I don't know, established. But Crusader Kings 3 might be more fun to watch. So, you know, it's more for fun. Have you seen the fixed Imperator? I've heard they fixed Imperator. I haven't tried it yet, because I don't own it. iStar Productions got nothing on me. Well, I think iStar Productions is probably better at map games than I am. The fact that I know who iStar Productions is just like damning judgment on me and my map game obsessions. About like daylight savings time. Oh yeah, I mean, I think aren't some European countries doing that and some aren't? I haven't heard that they're doing that in Sweden, but if they are, that would be great. There's a game I wish Mia would play, not naming names. That's Control. I do want to play Control. It's just like Control is a very, to me, it's like it's a very story-based game. Well, it's not, but like it's a type of game that like when I play, I kind of want to sit and immerse myself into, and that doesn't really, yeah, it doesn't really translate well for when I do like casual streams, which is what I would usually want to do. I do want to play it though, which I'm probably also going to try this week. If all things are good. Birthday stream. It may be a birthday stream. It may be not on my birthday, but like a birthday adjacent one. I don't think I'm gonna do a birthday stream this year. Although I'm not sure. I have done every single year before, so we'll see. Well, not every single year since I started YouTube. Hope the charity one gets like that feel H-Bomb had. That's kind of what I'm going for. Obviously, I don't have nearly the pull that H-Bomb has when it comes to like charity things. But I'm also hoping to like talk to some people who can like organize some sort of like skeleton crew thing, who can organize like guests to entertain the stream while I sit and like bash my head in because like a Duke killed me in Crusader Kings 3 or something and now I have to restart. KSP stream, interesting. I'd like to play KSP, but I'm worried that it would expose how unintelligent I am. Because it's a very smart game. And I'm not very smart when it comes to orbital mechanics. I'm very much the type of person who adds 45 rockets onto something and then crashes into the moon. I don't think I've actually ever put a Kerbal on another planet in career mode yet. Although I'm not sure. But I'm also the one, I'm also like the weird person who uses like life support mods because I want to keep the realism in. So I don't know, I make everything harder for myself and then I can't play the game. Maybe I should just have like a simple fun game. I won't play RuneScape. RuneScape is a good game. I like that. Now we're just talking gaming. What is this stream? Well, it's a hangout. There are no rules. We can talk about whatever. Found a cat to adopt yet? Maybe. Maybe. We'll see. I discovered you from H-Bomb Shadow Stream and you're like my top 5 in my top 5 YouTubers now. Thank you. Thank you very much. God, when the charity, the Each Pump charity stream was like 2 years ago. Did I have 1,000 subscribers at that point? If I did, I had slightly less. I think I had like around 1,000 subscribers at that time. That was a good stream. Never been to Cat Separator. Cats are great. The true reveal new cat. Maybe we'll see. If I do end up adopting a cat, I'm hoping to do so in the near future. And if I do, you will be able to see the cat, because I won't be able to contain them. If you could name a cat, what would you call them? Well, if I adopt a cat, it's going to be from like a shelter, and they usually already have names, so I don't feel right renaming a cat from scratch. Cats and map games are the perfect complements. I agree. You look at maps, I just realized that, like, oh my god, like I just realized that I'm basically like shitty. You know the stereotype of like old historians in like tweed who sit with cats, drink whiskey, and look at maps all day? That's basically what I am, but I look at video game maps instead. My god. Is there going to be a charity stream? Yes, there is. I am planning, I probably should have mentioned this earlier too. I'm planning to do sometime soon. I've been planning to do this for like half a year. I'm going to do a nightmare charity stream where I play in succession like a mega game campaign of Crusader Kings, Europa Universalis 4, Victoria 2, and Hearts of Iron 4, and then I'm going to add, in addition to that, maybe a city builder in between before I go to Stellaris, which is going to be the game I end on. And I may add in like more games in between there to just extend the stream. It's going to be a nightmare stream, and I think it'll be fun. It'll all be for charity, for some charity that I haven't really decided yet. Might be a multitude of charities. It's a sort of like split thing. Yeah, I just have to do a lot of tests. One obstacle that I've actually discovered is that I'm having some trouble with my like streaming account. There's something is going on there, but I'm looking into it. But yeah, like once I do that, once everything's sorted and once I figured out like what mods to use and talked to potential guests about coming on, and like getting producers to help me manage everything, I think that could be fun. I'm hoping to get Paradox involved too. Having a good skeleton crew is the main takeaway. Oh, for sure. If you got an unnamed kitten, ooh. Probably like Pancake or Meatloaf. Like a food name. I feel like that's very much like my vibe to name a pet. MapGo changed the stream. Make a mega campaign with Crusader Kings 2 and activate the animal campaign Easter egg to make your own cat empire. That could actually work. I think the converter actually accounts for that. I'm not super sure. I would have to test it. Well, I can't test it today, unfortunately, because I have so much editing left to do. Not actually a ton. I'm gonna finish fairly soon. I'm hoping to have a render done within 2 hours, and then I can upload that. Some patrons will be able to see the thing, and then I'm done. Mukbang. That would probably have to happen on this nightmare stream thing, because I would have to stream. I've calculated that the amount of stream time that I would do would be like around a week. It's probably gonna be shorter than that, because I'm probably gonna like take a lot of like shortcuts, skip some games potentially, not play optimally, just like play quick, so I can get done quicker. And yeah, I think that could be fun. But then I would like, of course, during that time I would have to eat meals as I play, and I would need to, you know, I would need to sleep in between games. But that's where I would need, you know, a skeleton crew to to entertain the stream, and also to like look at just like a frozen map of, you know, probably Europe. You learned about Sue streaming today. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It is a truly cursed meal, but it tastes delicious. So, you know, what can I say? Teeth King 2. Well, that's what I'm hoping. There's been a lot of people who want to like recreate the charity stream, but I'm hoping to sort of like package things together. I think a hidden benefit of the Nightmare stream that Harry did is the fact that playing a game from start to finish 100% completionist, it gives you a goal to reach. Because I feel like a lot of times when people play games for charity streams, they just play a game with no like real goal in mind. I feel like a goal means that an audience has something to root for in addition to the charity stream, which I think is something that's interesting. And the goal for me would be to survive until 1945. I missed a part in H-Bomb stream where that happened. Can someone explain the teeth gang for me? Teeth gang is when Harry went up to brush his teeth, and the chat all started screaming, teeth, 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 teeth. That's where it comes from. Don't end up on the Foot Wiki. Listen, I won't. I've been working hard to not show feet, yet. Unless there's a sizable donation to charity. Apparently at some point we had an explosion where a lot of those cans exploded. Oh, that's horrifying. It's probably hard not to look like a deranged maniac for streaming. For long reference Harry's Bummer guy. Oh, I'm gonna look like a nightmare. But you know, it's for a good cause, or at least I'm hoping. But I think that could be fun. I'm wondering if there's like a speed running. I wonder if there's a speed running board for mega games. I think that could be fun if I can make a speed running for a mega game. And if they're not, I want someone to make a category for me. Ah, but then I would have to run it unmodded. Damn. Maybe I can do that in the prepping stage. Conscious of bathroom scene with ski boots on. If I had the budget, yeah, but like that's not coming in next. That's not coming in the next month. Hopefully, that's coming in April. But that's a big if though, because like I've done prep for this since like August, and like it's way more work than people think it is. Just the fact that it would take like a week out of my life, maybe shorter, hopefully shorter, is something that I would have to deal with, and I don't think I would be super happy with that. Also, like I would also have a certain contingency being like, if no one's watching after like a day, then I might just quit, because then it's not worth it. Like if it's not actually raising money for charity, then there's no point. What else is happening though? Next month. I'm hoping to stream more video games. I'm hoping to, like, I'm still trying. I'm going to what's it called? Shift around my streaming schedule sometime soon, so I can stream more in the weekends, because that's when I feel I have more just time to stream video games, and be able to what's it called? Potentially make partner one day. Like I'm hoping to, I'm hoping to make a partner on Twitch, for a few reasons. One reason is that it would make things a lot easier in for the charity stream, but also just for, it's fun. It's a fun way to it's a fun thing to do, and it's what's it called? Yeah, it's also like an additional revenue source, People subbing and gifting and stuff like that. It's all good stuff. I might cut today's stream a bit short because I honestly, like, there's not a lot of things happening. The channel's doing great, basically. But the reason why I kind of want to cut it short is a bit like, cause I still have some editing to do. I still have some work to do before I can upload the early access thing, and then I'm what's it called? Then I can go to bed. Then I can relax, because I've been working for this video. Like, I've been working on this video like a bit much. So I'm looking forward to just like being done with it. But hopefully I will be done very, very soon. But we'll see. When do you stream usually, or plan to? Is there a certain time? Well, right now, the plan that I have, that I almost never keep to, is streaming video games on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 o'clock Central European time. But I'm really bad at keeping to that. Like, I don't really do it, unfortunately, because I mean, oftentimes I just don't have time. Like, I find myself being cramped for time. But I'm planning on doing it like more on like Saturdays. Yeah, just Saturdays in general. I think it would be nice. Maybe some Fridays, depending on, like, my life, because I have a life outside of streaming and YouTube. So I have to plan around that as well. So yeah, I mean, like, I want to have plus, I want to have time when I just play for myself, just play my my stupid little nap games on my own. Something is news to me these days. Well, we've been streaming for 45 minutes, roughly 44, and I think that's pretty much okay. I'm going to do damn it. I'm going to do like this. I'm pretty tired. I'm going to do some rounds. I'm going to give you some news. Whatever news that I have, talk about like upcoming things, dates, etc. Quick recap of everything that I talked about, and then I'm going to go to chat, and I'm going to reach the end of chat. So if you have any questions that you want to ask me, just throw them into chat, and I'll answer them, and I'll take my time answering them too. But once I reach the end of the chat, then I'm gonna go, because I want to finish I wanna finish this video. I wanna work. Like, and like I'm at that point too when I'm like so close to finishing this video too. I'm so close. If I wanted to, I could just render it now, but it wouldn't be good. I guess that's just true for all videos. However, but like, I'm so close. And I just want to finish it. Okay, so what's happening in the near future? Well, tomorrow, I'm releasing my next video. Hopefully at 8 p.m. Central European time, maybe 9. Probably 9 actually, because I have a stream with Tristan too. My good friend Tristan. And I might want to have a sort of like pause between that. It's probably going to be a premiere, most likely going to be a premiere, because those have been doing great for me in the algorithm recently, and I'm gonna keep doing that. Plus, it's always fun with the premiere, I think. What else? The streaming schedule is going to be posted on Patreon sometime next week, maybe in the next 2 weeks. It's before any streams actually happen, so no one's going to miss any stream because they don't have access to this schedule. But it's going to be posted on Patreon. It's public. You don't have to be a Patreon to see the schedule. You can just follow. You do have to be a patron to see some of my streams, though. Right. Right. What is my opinion on Wikifeet? I think it's weird. I think it's very weird. For me, but I don't judge anyone who's into that. I do think it's kind of weird to like cataloging the feed of strangers. That's where the weirdness comes to me. Like if people are into feed, that's fine. That's their business. If people want to show off a feed, that's fine. That's their business. I don't care. Good for them. But like collecting like pictures of feet of strangers who aren't into it, that's weird to me. I don't like that too much. It is feet, so it's not like that weird, but it is strangers' feet that they haven't been okay with, so that's weird. This is probably the best questions I've ever received. When you make videos, what is my work process? Do you reach the stuff first or write down notes? How does it work? Good question. I have some vague ideas that I collect just in my life. I have one big sort of document, Google document, where I write down all of the ideas and like a general vibe that I want to go with. So the vibe for this one was the nature of debate and debate culture. It's not about that. The video is not about these things at all. The video is about free speech and PragerU. But what happened was that like as I did research, okay. So what I do is I write down like an outline about like points that I kind of want to talk about, like areas that I want to explore, and I want to, what's it called? Like as I sort of write what I think I want to talk about, I usually come up with like better things to talk about, and that's how my topic changes. When I have a favorite outline, I do. That's when I start doing research. That's when I start reading articles primarily. Like most of my research is coming from articles or like the odd history archive book. But usually my topics are more modern, and I want to use like more modern sources, so I use like articles because it's fun and it's easier to get to as well. And once I do that, I just sort of fill in the chapters basically. Like I don't really work on like a narrative thread. That's something that I usually do at the very end of editing, where I sort of like try to find a sort of cohesive narrative. And sometimes I don't actually find that, and I have to do it in editing, which is kind of what I'm doing now, unfortunately. And it's not great, but yeah, that's kind of sort of how it starts. Once I have like that sort of baseline with like some research and some note taking, I usually find a good way to go. But I basically just write my essays like I write my normal essays, like a paper essay. Yeah. Playing KSP. Playing KSP is a good thing. You never have to apologize for that. Is studying history interesting / cool? I'm starting currently with the site I want to study. I'm thinking about history. History is really cool. I like history. I had a great time studying history. It's very different from high school history in the sense of like, you don't do like rote memorization. You do, you more study sort of like various historical theories of how to interpret historical sources. That's how you go. Like there, in my university, for example, there were a lot of Marxist professors who would sort of force me to study statistics, because that was a very sort of like, we are going to study numbers, and we are going to study how they impact people in the past and how that led to other numbers. But I also had like, I studied, what's it called? I primarily used a theory called like, it's a method, I guess, of like discourse analysis, where I would read source materials that argued with each other, that had a discourse, and try to figure out what the vibe was, basically. Which is very fun. If you like, for example, if you like watching YouTube videos about people talking to each other about various topics, that's great, because you get to do that, but like for 100 years ago. So I had a great time doing that. Plus, you get to pick your own like field of history. At least I did. I'm not sure how it works in other universities, but like, I got to pick my own essay topics. So I wrote about sexology, because that's cool. It started with me writing about like trans issues, but I had a great time writing about like the history of sexology as well. It's great. I had a great time. Should know though, hard to get a job if you're not gonna stick with it all the way to like a PhD level. Like, it's really hard. I have an incomplete master's in my baggage, and I went to YouTube to get a job. Like, I've never worked in like academic history, but at the same time, I had a great time. Like, I would definitely suggest it, and I do plan on finishing my master's one day. Maybe getting like, getting in that academic hole. But like, YouTube is a career now. It's gonna be hard for me to disconnect. I like it. History is a great subject, I think, and I think more people should study history. But something that like his professors talked about too is we need more medieval historians. You'd think it'd be done, but too many people study modern history, which is like all history after basically the American Revolution. Too many people study that, and it's not that interesting anymore. Because there are only like a very few number of people who study like medieval history or like pre-medieval history, and they are all, well, not all of them, but like a lot of them are bad, or they have like very like outdated conservative views on history. So a lot of people now, for example, like young people, they go in to study history and they study like the 1700s or the 1800s, like I did. Using like more modern theories, which is great. We discover a lot of stuff about the 1800s like that, but we need to use that we need to use that application and use that on the Middle Ages as well. Like, that's cool. It's very like, it's not super deep cuts actually, but like a little bit deep cut in like internal academic discourse. I need to be quicker answering these questions. Tell us the magic Discord we're left to invite each other for voiceovers. Jen Nicholson is the big JK, kill me. The big JK. I don't know what that means. I mean, we don't have one of those. It's literally just like a few people knowing each other. I know a very few amount of people on LeftTube, whatever that is. And whenever I have like people over to do voiceovers, I just ask my friends that I've like gotten to know via YouTube. But I don't know Jenny Nicholson. Like, I don't know these people. I would never be able to get them on as a voice line. I'm hella surprised actually that I got Harry to voice my plant in my video on nationalism, like one bad voice line. I'm very surprised I managed to do that. Right, quicker answers. Is Anders Tegnell still being taken seriously, or Sweden started getting a new take on the Rona? No, he's still being taken seriously. Don't know why. Sweden is falling apart. I mean, they are actually like trying to suggest masks now. A year in, they're suggesting that masks can be a good idea, and they're only doing that because because of the new like COVID variants that are like way more lethal. Why are so many questions about feet popping up? I don't know. Favorite Paradox game? If you say anything besides Vika 2, you're wrong. But yeah, it's Vika 2. It's literally Vika 2. Vika 2 is my favorite Paradox game. Yeah, I have a sort of like pie in the sky dream one day of earning enough money so I can like fund a game studio on my own, and I can pay them to make me Victoria 3. I don't actually need to sell it or make a profit. I just want to have the game for myself. Anything else outside of that is a bonus. I just want Vicky 3, and if I can, like I've studied like coding and some game design. I haven't done that for months now, but I try to learn occasionally so I can like code it myself. But it's making games is hard actually, so that doesn't work. Coal extraction in 19th century Germany. I like coal extraction in 19th century Germany. No makeup tutorials in the pipeline? Not really, no. I'm very bad with makeup. History near... Studying ancient Near East did not bring me a job. So if you want a job, something else. Yeah, like history doesn't really bringing the bucks, but it's fun. Vibe checking historians. Yeah, literally checking the vibe. This should help. I hope it helps. The psychology of feet fetishism. Don't give me ideas. With a rant about the main reasons the US uses Imperial because of feet fetishes. Still remember Magnus Hirschfeld guy from one of the videos. Education received. Nice. Magnus Hirschfeld is probably what I loved learning about most, honestly. Medieval history is so badly recorded and whitewashed. Yes. Oh my god. Ancient Near East in Central Asian history. Yes. Yes. I only studied basically before the American Revolution. Good. The history of windmills. Probably an interesting idea, actually. Like, people genuinely think that the Battle of Tours was some kind of massive event that saved France from Sharia law. It's ridiculous. I know. Me and Tristan, who is the other good YouTube historian, often make jokes that like the only good alt history fiction is would be if the other side won the Battle of Tours, and like the like Western Christendom wouldn't have had the sort of power that it had. Because it would have changed so much in world history. Archaeology is also revolutionizing, we say that's the way we see past. Yeah, I like archaeology. I was actually hoping to study archaeology before I applied to uni, and then I saw that history just felt more up my alley. I think archaeology is great. Coding strategy games is very difficult, yes. And that's the end of the chat. And it's almost an hour in, perfect. I'm going to go. I'm going to end my stream, and then I'm gonna work. Unfortunately, I have so much fucking work to do. If you're a $20 patron of mine, you should hopefully, like within, let's say 3 hours, hopefully, see an early access version of the video that I'm gonna release tomorrow. Maybe with some like rough corners, maybe with some like unpolished edges, but still good. And I will, tomorrow you will see the video coming out proper. I'll do a premiere, I'll hang out and chat, it'll be great. And I will see all of you. I don't know. You'll have to check the streaming schedule that I'm going to upload. Hopefully tomorrow at the premiere. And I'll see you then on Monday evening.